Well, hello. I'd like to introduce you to Enid and Bertha, the my little friends that have joined me since eating a load of shite while I was in Edinburgh. It was delicious though. It was all delicious, but probably not the best thing for me. Hello. Let me just see if these are actually on or not. I think it's connected. Hmm. Apparently they are. We shall see. Can you guys hear me? Can you just give me a little yes, yes, bish, if you can hear me? Good morning, Kerry. Hi, Maggie. Give you guys a couple of mins. Oh my God, what is going on here? I mean, it doesn't matter how many times I check my hair in the mirror or how I plan for the mop to respond. As soon as I get on this camera, I'm like, this was not what I saw in the mirror. Eh, life, real life. Mm. So, what is it about this particular live stream title that spoke to you? Also, if you missed me introducing Enid and Bertha, this is Enid, this is Bertha. Yes, I am a 40-year-old woman who apparently still gets spots. And I'm pretty sure it's because of just eating all of the things when I was in Edinburgh at the Fringe Festival last week. I was just like, I'm not holding back. I'll eat what I want. And I did. And it was delicious. And now I'm paying the price. But it's all right. You know, I'm alive. So that's a blessing. It's the main thing, really, isn't it? As long as you're here, you're breathing, you're moving, you're alive, then you are able to change the course of your life. You are able to sample the delicious delights that this amazing, incredible human experience has to offer. So just breathe that in. Whatever else is going on in your life, whether you're in pain, whether you're struggling with something, whether life is feeling hard or whether it's feeling amazing, whatever you're experiencing right now. Ha! You're fucking experiencing something. How amazing is that? You're alive. Like, so many people are not. So, like, take a moment right now to just be like, fuck me. Yeah, she's right. I am alive. Like, there is something to be grateful for today, even if life is hard. Yeah. That was just a little random extra. That's not what this live stream is about, but why not? You're welcome. So, yes, what was it about this in particular that spoke to you? Or are you just here because you're like, there'll probably be something here for me. If the Nolie's on, I'll listen to her rant for a bit. This is becoming a habit, people. I've made notes, actual notes, because I want to tell you how this live stream kind of landed in my body and like how it formulated itself. Because I think there are so many people who are so busy waiting for the timing to be right and the perfect timing and all of this bullshit. And I just think, I know that I've always been a big champion of strike while the iron's hot, do the thing while you're inspired, don't be a perfectionist. Just if you've got the like, ooh, I want to do something, just fucking do it. And if you change your mind, you change your mind, it doesn't matter. And today was just such a perfect example of what happens when I just follow the nudge and like follow the excitement, follow the zing energy. And the way that this came to me was, firstly, on a Monday morning, I usually have, and in here is a little coded message about trust the timing of your life, stop trying to control everything. Things are always working out for you, and you can't predict what the path is going to look like. So, yes, although this is a very kind of simple story about me changing my training plan for this morning, the message encoded in it is so much deeper than that, as per usual. 6 line life. So basically on a Monday morning at 10 a.m. every week, pretty much for the last 5 years, give or take, holiday here, a pandemic there. And even then, you know, It was outside training. We made it work. Um, but I have trained with my personal trainer, my Muay Thai trainer for like the last 5 years, pretty much. Pretty much on like give or take the rare exception. Mondays 10 a.m. I'm training at the Muay Thai gym that I train at. This morning, last night I received a message from my trainer saying I can't do your session today because I've got an appointment. I was like, okay, no problem. And I was actually gutted because I fucking love starting my week that way. It's like the best. My trainer is basically a sage. So he always has some incredible wisdom. And I'm like, I feel like it's like life coaching, spiritual coaching slash getting to hit shit. And hi everyone jumping on. Hi. Lovely to see you. And obviously please feel free to comment and respond if something bubbles, and I will come back to the comments in a second. So I do that every Monday, and I like that. It's like a beautiful routine, and I was actually a little bit disappointed when he said he couldn't do today. I was like, oh fuck. But then I was like, it's okay, I can just do my run. So I decided this morning that I was going to jump on the treadmill and I was going to do 4 kilometer intervals. So like 1 kilometer, then take a 2 minute walk break, then do another kilometer, and then do 2 minute walking, and then do that four times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can count. So that was my plan. And I woke up this morning and I was really fucking tired. And I was like, I do not want to do this today, but I know that my body and my brain and my heart need me to do this. More on that later. But the routine changed. I just pivoted. I just knew that I wanted to exercise. Knew that the dog was going out for his big doggy walk with his friends, and I had 2 hours where I could do whatever I wanted without having to worry about, finding someone to take care of the neediest sausage in the land. God love him. And so I went to the gym to do my run. And it was on the treadmill when I was about 2 intervals in, and I was like, I was literally mid run. So this wasn't even one of the walk breaks. I was like, oh my goodness. And I had all these downloads and all this clarity. And it was like my body. I talk to my clients about this a lot, and I spoke about it on my last podcast as well. So if you haven't listened to that, then after this, you can always go listen to my latest podcast from last week. And I talk about this idea of like, are we truly allowing our system the time to metabolize, digest, and action the things we've already learned before we start consuming more? But also, are you actually allowing yourself enough time, or are you constantly filling your life with a to-do list of like, just I have to keep in action, I have to keep moving, I have to keep doing things all the time, rather than just ever like taking a step back or away from the thing that you're trying to create results in. So if it's like your business that you're trying to create results in, we can get very obsessed with like staring at that. And then we can kind of like forget all the other areas of our life, that actually, if we just nurtured our life and ourselves in general, we would be able to really digest all of the information that's coming in from all angles, all the information that's our body is trying to sift through, and be able to fully digest it and then receive the real aha, the aha that comes from inside, the aha that you've probably already had before, but you forgot that you had it because you're so busy fucking searching for the next one, right? That's the basic premise of that podcast, although I got a lot more in depth into it there. But for the sake of today, that's what happened to me. I was on the treadmill and it was like ping, 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 all these amazing it was like my system had time to fully metabolize, digest, and then reflect back to me and remind me of the wisdom that I always knew, that always lived deep inside of me, the wisdom that I've had reflected back to me time and time again. And I'm going to share that with you today. But this initial point is, if I hadn't had that pivot this morning, if I'd have got stuck in, oh, my session's been cancelled. Oh, well, yeah, if I'd have gone down that spiral, which didn't even occur to me, but I know that spiral is also available. But if I'd have gone down that one, what lives there? Feeling like fucking shit, right? Like that's what lives down there. But in the other spiral that just kind of naturally felt like where I was going, and it's a choice. You can choose this spiral, right? You can choose that, oh, I wonder if there's something else available to me. I wonder if this pivot, this change in my schedule, this abrupt change to what I had planned, I wonder what actually lives here for me that I wouldn't have received or noticed, or what opportunity might live on this path that I would never have even known existed or had access to if I'd have just kept on chomping away, pushing myself forward on the path that I thought I had to take. So this morning, when this all kind of went and just downloaded for me, I was like, fuck, okay, right. So literally, this is what I mean by like do it when the energy is there. Because we get so caught up in, oh, but I'll get drained, oh, I'm too tired, or I haven't got time, or I'm busy doing something else. No. Do you know how long it took me to set up this live stream? Like seconds. I decided, and then when I was in my next walk break on my intervals, I mean, I wasn't. What else was I doing? I was on a fucking treadmill. I'd committed to doing this thing, and all I have to do is just move my feet. So when the idea came through, I could have gone, oh well, I'll wait. But why? The energy was there. I had my phone in front of me, so I just set up the event, messaged my VA, and I actually, God love her, my long suffering, amazing, beautiful VA, Lisa. God love her. I messaged her whilst I was on it, like running, whilst I was actually doing one of the intervals, and I was like, Lisa, I am on the treadmill, but manifesting generator life, I've had an idea. I'm doing a live stream. Can you please send me blah 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 blah, and then I'll send it to you, and then we'll do the usual protocol that we do to repurpose the content. Right? There's a system in place. But manifesting generator, I just initiated. I just informed. I was like, boom, we're doing this. I'm informing you of what's going to happen, and I just need you to be ready for when it drops. Okay? So what I could have done is I could have not struck while the iron was hot. I could have waited until I'd finished my intervals. But you know what? By the time I'd done that, I probably would have thought, it's not really worth sharing. Like, this is obvious stuff. People probably know this stuff. Like, yeah, it's fine. I'm just going to go and relax and spend the rest of my day chilling with the dog or whatever. So when the energy is there, do the fucking thing. Right? That's the first thing. It's like trust the path. If you're in a pivot, if something seems to be like the rug's ripped out from under you, or a plan changes, or something gets cancelled, just be open to like, ooh, I wonder what else is here for me, rather than like, oh no, the plan has changed. And I actually did that in Edinburgh. I saw myself do it when I wasn't as well resourced because I was tired. I'd been eating rubbish. I hadn't been exercising, going to the gym because we'd just been doing a lot of walking and my legs were tired from walking. So I was like, if I go for a run or do something, I'm going to fuck myself up. So, like, walking was my cardio, my exercise while we were away. But I was eating food I wouldn't normally eat. I was, my sleep schedule was completely off. And it's not to say that I have to have those things in place because otherwise I'm a mess. It's just that if one or two of those things is out a little bit, I kind of like it's not so bad. But when everything is out, I wasn't as well emotionally resourced. So on the morning when I had it in my mind, I really wanted to go to this place for breakfast. And we got there, there was a little queue. My boyfriend was like, it looks really busy in there. I don't really want to eat in there. I don't really like really, really busy restaurants. Like, I don't feel comfortable eating in them. And I was just like, and we ended up at this little greasy spoon. The food was horrible. The egg was slippery. But and so I chose the other spiral that day. I chose to be in a mood for about half an hour about the fact that I didn't get to eat breakfast where I wanted to eat. I was in a fucking mood and I was so passive aggressive and I was so grumpy. And then I said, okay, I acknowledge I'm being passive aggressive and grumpy right now. I think I just need to go and get a smoothie. So I adapted, got the smoothie, and then I felt much better. But that was a day when the plan that I had in my head and in my heart changed. And rather than being like, okay, so where else could we go? What else could be available? I immediately snapped into, this is not what I planned. This is not what I wanted. So, whereas today I was well resourced, I'm at home, I've had rest, I'm hydrated, I'm eating normally, I'm taking my supplements, like I'm doing the things I know that support my physical body so that I can be well resourced. So this morning, when my plans had changed, it wasn't a big fucking deal, right? Anyone resonating with this? Tell me the things. And now I'm going to share with you the messages and the wisdom that kind of dropped into my system and metabolized fully And these are not new things. These are things I've probably said before. These are things that I have known before. And yet, growth is a spiral, is it not? As we are growing, as we are evolving, as we continue to get to know ourselves better, we will come across similar patterns over and over again. And this is just part of growth. So rather than going, ugh, I thought I knew this, when I received these nuggets and they re-metabolized and assimilated on a deeper level today, I was just so excited because it was like, oh, fuck yeah. I'm remembering this thing that I already knew, and now I get to implement it. And I'm going to talk to the people about it because it feels really important and relevant right now. Yes? Hi, Lisbeth. So, yeah, if you're watching live on the replay, say hello. Don't just be a voyeur. Get involved. Get stuck in, kids. Okay, so the first thing that I wrote down was in regard to this theme of the whole thing that came through was like, are you holding back? So the first thing that came through was sometimes it's more difficult to go slow. And I put here, are you slowing down or holding back because you think you won't cross the finish line or because you're burnt out? Or there could be many other reasons why you don't fully go at the pace that you want to. I'm aware that I'm a manifesting generator, so speed, quantum leaps, time bending is kind of my jam, right? However, doesn't matter what fucking type you are in human design, what your constitutional factor is, what your star sign is, what your number is in numerology, doesn't fucking matter. The point is, the gift of being in the presence and the wisdom of a manifesting generator who's fully embodied, right, is that we can remind you, show you, teach you, reactivate and catalyze that part of you to remember, oh shit, I'm putting fucking unnecessary steps in the way again. I don't need to plod along. Sometimes it's okay for me to go fast. Sometimes it's okay for me to sprint to the finish. Sometimes I don't have to. Do you know what it is? It for me, it was this thing about if I go too fast, I'll burn out. If I go too fast, I will feel. And this is something that I see with people time and time again. When we're in complacency, when we're in plodding along, following the path that's formerly been tread, following somebody else, or doing the same thing that we've always done, even if it leads to a sabotage pattern, there is comfort in that. And comfort means familiarity. So when something feels familiar, even if it's like a really fucked up pattern that stops us from getting what we think or what we say we want, we'll often choose it over going down the path less tread, truly trusting our intuition, even if it takes us somewhere that we're like, that feels risky. That feels big. That feels scary. I don't know if I'm ready. And so the wisdom of the manifesting generator, again, when they're embodied, when they're living it, when they're truly, living their life in the way that they are kind of here to live it, we will remind you, show you, catalyze the part of you that is connected to that ability to like, boink, quantum leap and get somewhere much faster than you think you can. Because we remind you of how to make something more efficient, how to cut out the unnecessary steps, how to do things your own way. So when it came to this piece, I'd set because I decided, right, I was going to do 4 kilometers, 1 kilometer, 2 minute walk, 1 kilometer, 2 minute walk, right? So this is what I planned to do that 4 times. I started the first like run, if you will. And I looked at how I was like quite a slow pace, but I thought, right, I'm going to pace myself because I don't want to injure myself. I haven't done this kind of running in a while. I've been doing like sprints, like interval sprints, like 30-second, like blast, 30-second jog, 30-second sprint, 30-second. Like I've been doing that, okay, for a few weeks. So my body, and I've been training Muay Thai, so it's not like I've just been sitting on the couch doing nothing like from 0 to 100, But I was aware that sometimes for that kind of slightly more distance training, when I start to look at distance that I'm running versus just like hard, like sprints, explosive, which is kind of that's my comfort zone. Explosivity, sprints, fast, like a burst, right? And then slow down, then a burst and slow down. It's the manifestor in me. That's my comfort zone. So to do a distance and just have to keep going at a certain pace that is actually quite that is training a part of my brain, training a muscle, like an internal muscle that I don't that could really use training. Like that focus, that kind of just keep going, just keep breathing, one foot in front of the other. So that's what I chose to do today. When I was into my first run, my first kilometer, I was about 0.3 kilometers in, and I was like, I could just do three. If you resonate with this in any area of your life, tell me now, okay? How many times have you set out to do something and you're like, yeah, that feels like a stretch, but it feels like I can do it. I know I can do it. I've done it before. Yeah, I can do that. I can do 4 kilometers or whatever your, whatever your version of that is. And then when you start, it's like, do less. Maybe I'll half-ass it. Maybe I won't do as much as I said because no one's really watching or holding me accountable. So fuck it, right? Self-betrayal. Like, why do we do it? So when I felt myself being like, oh, I could just do three, I was like, no, I'm going to do four, and I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. So the next piece that came up for me was, do you know what? I'm telling the story in my head, and this is such a big one for me. Please tell me if you get this one as well, right? Oh, totally, Eloise. Like running is my nemesis, but I love it because it teaches me so much. Like I learn so much, and it's such a great. I know it's a skill that physically helps me integrate like focus, dedication, motivation, like consistency, things that I can always you know, do with turning the volume up on in my life. And it helps me cultivate those things on like a visceral level. And yet it's always the thing that I fucking hate and I dread the most in my training plan every week. But when I do it, as soon as I start, like once I'm into it, I'm like, fuck yeah. And at the end I feel like a fucking superhero. Like I could take on the world because I did something that I didn't want to do that I knew would be good for me. And I just feel so like I've conquered myself. I've conquered my inner demons. And it's like if I can conquer my inner demons first thing in the fucking morning and run, then holy shit, the rest of the day is a piece of piss. Anyway, oh hey Martha, hi hi hi, hey Phil. So what I decided to do was like listening to the voice. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Like witness mode. Like I wonder what's happening here. Um, and so these are some of the things that I wrote down here. It was like training for the long game. How often does your brain distract you versus your actual intuitive desire and guidance to pivot? And then I put here as a reminder, you can do hard things. We kind of think that we can't do difficult things, but we can. We are so incredible. You like I say this a lot, but you've survived every shit thing that's happened to you in your life thus far. You've survived it. So you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And you're so much more powerful and resourceful and resilient than you give yourself credit for. And yet somehow we talk ourselves out of doing the things that we know would A, be good for us, or B, that we really truly want to do in favor of following this fucking tick list of bullshit societal pressure that people put on us. Don't even get me started. Well, you've done it now. I'm started on how they tell women 40 plus to move their bodies. I am bombarded with this bullshit on my social media at the moment, and I'm like, block, delete, block, delete, block, delete. You will not fucking tell me what I can and cannot do with my body. How fucking dare you? Like, you shouldn't run if you're 40 or over because it increases stress, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, running actually decreases stress for some people, including me. And therefore, what you're really telling me to do is to do what you think I should do. I don't fucking think so. I haven't listened to that kind of bullshit for my entire life. I'm not going to start now that I'm 40. Please stop telling women what they are capable of and not capable of. Holy fucking shit. Are we not over that yet? Thank you. Okay, that's my rant. Can I get an amen? Like, holy shit, man. It's so bananas. And most of the people, it's like they're either men or like 20-year-old women. I'm like, excuse me. No, no. I will do what the fuck I want with my body and I will train how I want and how feels good to me. Jeez. Don't know when I became such an angry feminist for women 40 plus. Probably when I turned 40. You're welcome. Just another case of do what feels good for you. Okay, so anyway, moving on. So like there's a difference between, and particularly for manifesting generators, right? It's like we have this whole, we are the pivot kings and queens and non-binary folk. We can literally pivot whenever we want to. Manifesting generator, we're like, oh, I'm going in this direction. That doesn't feel good. Yeah, I'm bored by that. This doesn't feel. Oh, look at that thing over there, shiny. So like we can literally bing, 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 bing wherever we want to because that's kind of our superpower. However, don't worry, Eloise. I'm getting there. Oh, let me tell you. If you're like that at 40, wait till you're 60. I know. I just keep getting better. I'm a six line in human design, so you know, we age like a fine wine. We hit like our stride at 50. So I've got 10 years yet. 10 years even to become even more fabulous than I already am. Can you even imagine? Stick around for the show. So this idea of am I being distracted or am I like is my brain or my body trying to distract me like oh I'm bored now I'm bored of running so I'm only going to do 3K I'm not going to do 4 no one's watching I'm just getting bored I was like am I really bored no all that was happening was like my brain was kind of going oh I haven't got anything to chew on or worry about you mean all I've got to do is just keep doing this is easy this is too easy. No, I think I'm bored now. I think we better distract ourselves. And I was like, what is happening in there, guys? Like all the like there's like a little kind of community that lives in my brain, and one's very positive and one's like, oh well, I don't know, should we really? And then the other one's like, I'm bored. I'm sure if I went to a doctor, they would diagnose me with ADHD, but I don't believe in these kind of diagnoses. Like I genuinely just think we are who we are. So make of that what you will. But you know, it's very easy for us to get distracted by the voice of self-doubt or the voice of that distracting, like I'm bored. But it's not true. I wasn't bored. I'd only just started. You know? If I can watch 5 hours of Netflix quite happily, I can be on a treadmill for 45 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, Nolly, you can do this. You're just distracting yourself because you're sabotaging. So, when I started to think about this kind, and I just kind of reflected on, I was very clear in that moment that it was a distraction technique versus my intuition saying to me, oh, we should go over here. Because I was stretching into something. I left a message for my collective ladies this morning about this, but it's kind of this idea of like I'm stretching into something that is familiar because I've run this far before. I've run further, I've done more, but just not for a while and not without a structured plan or a coach. Like I'm just doing this because I'm doing it for me. I don't have a coach who's telling me what to do with my training. I'm just doing it because I know what to do. Like I know this. I'm fucking like I'm literally a I am qualified personal trainer. I've been training Muay Thai for like 8 years, 7 years, 8 years or something. You know, like I know what I'm doing. I've worked with countless personal trainers who've given me structure plans. I know what to do. But when there's no one there to check in with and be like, oh, I did this, sometimes it's just so easy for me to go, oh, well, I did something. But I'm so much better now at holding myself accountable. So when I was on that treadmill, my mind wanted me to give up. It was very much my mind. So I started to inquire into like what was really going on. Um, what did I put here? Okay, so what I put here was you've got more in the tank than you think. Now I set out to do 4. I almost excused out at 3, and then I ended up doing 5 because when I hit 4, I was like, oh, I'm done. I planned a live stream. I've had a conversation with my VA. Like I've done all sorts in this time. It's been great. I feel good. And there was this feeling inside of me and this is nuanced, so bear with me. I had this feeling inside of me of, you've got more in the tank, you've got one more, you've got one more. And I thought, ooh, yeah. And there was this moment of, I could just get off the treadmill now because I've done what I set out to do and I conquered my demon of the 3K demon, right? So I knew I'd already done more than my body thought it could do. But there was this feeling inside of me. And it was very profound because this feeling was like, you're not done yet. You've got one more. So I did one more. And each one I did, by the way, I was putting the speed up, but we'll get to that in a moment. So this one, and then when I looked at the speed that I was running this kilometer, I was like, a few weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, that was my sprint speed because I've been slowly building that up as well. So I was effectively running at my previous sprint speed for a kilometer. Now, don't get me wrong, my sprint speed has gone up like a lot since then. So this is not really a sprint for me anymore. But 4 weeks ago, this felt like a sprint and I was sweating balls like doing this for 30 seconds. So it just goes to show that, compounded over time, just slowly building things up. But also, I was like flying. I felt high. I was like, it felt like I just felt like I'd been cleansed from the inside out, like I'd made space for something. It felt like if I hadn't stuck at that and I hadn't listened to my body's intuitive knowing that I had one left, not two, not zero, just one. That's the very clear guidance I got from my body. You've got one more. And when I was doing it, I just felt like it felt like a fucking spiritual experience is the best way I can describe it, because it wasn't just an extra kilometer. And here's the nuance. It didn't come from, I'm going to push and force myself to do it because I said, oh, yeah, I'm going to make myself do more than I thought I could because that will be great. It was literally this feeling of, you've got one more left. And it felt like I was clogged up. And it felt like this pressure of, you've got one more. Don't fucking stop now. You've got one more. Why would you stop now? Just do it for you. No one's watching. No one cares. Do it for you. And I did. And I put the speed up and I smashed that final kilometer and I felt amazing. So take from this what you will. But this is not pushing or forcing. This is not making yourself do anything to prove something. It was literally this feeling of, I've got more in me. There's more here to give for myself. And it was such a beautiful feeling to feel that and do it. Because if I'd have walked away, I would have had this like pent up energy, this frustration in my body, which for a Gen is the sign that like we're out of our alignment, right? And I knew I could feel that feeling like, and it's almost, I feel like I could over explain it, but I'm literally just going to say, I'm just going to cut it off there because it's like, that is all, that is as simple as it was. You've got one more, you've got more to give. And it's kind of that feeling of like, don't die with the song left in you or whatever it is, like the song unsung or whatever. And it felt like that. It was like, you can't start the day today without giving all you could give to this. And how often in life do we do that? How often in life do you go, oh, but I really just want to stay and do it, like even just like 20 more minutes or an hour more. Like I really want to do like an hour more in my studio painting, where I really want to create more content. I really want to write a bit more of this book, or I really want to train a bit harder. But I've already done what I said I would do, and so do what your heart is guiding you to do. Your body is telling you what to do to feel fully satisfied, enriched, fulfilled, successful, peaceful. If you ignore that and then you have a shit day, that's kind of on you, right? So, really trusting that intuitive nudge inside of you, and it will pay dividends. Okay, so I just put here the feeling of potentially finishing before I emptied the tank, before I was finished, not before the plan was finished, but before I was finished, because of some arbitrary rule felt gross. So I ended up doing 5K, right? The next thing I put here was, So, by the way, like, let me know that's landed. What is it bringing up for you? Speak to me. Tell me the things because I like to know where you are, and if something juicy comes up, we can always go into it, right? So there's just a few more things here. Oh, hey, Sally. Yes, I have no self accountability. Well, that's the thing. We have to cultivate it, right? But I think training my body physically over years has been something that's really helped me to cultivate stamina in my business as well. Um, but yeah, I feel like business and fitness and my relationship with food, so like money, business, food, fitness, that stuff has those areas of my life. When I focus on those and I grow and expand those areas of my life, it ripples out into all areas. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see what you decide to do. So what I've put here is the profound experience of just doing the thing and doing it at your own speed. Just keep going and not letting "I'm bored" get in the way. You're bored because you're trying to sabotage the result of happiness and success and peace and contentment and actually getting what you want. So today I just ran. I let the noise be there and I just kept running. Then the noise settled and I really enjoyed it. I found the peace in the simple action of running and released the need to overcomplicate. And this is key. I released the need to overcomplicate by adding in problems to solve and chew on. And the question, the reflection that I've put here, so write this down. What happens when you truly go with your flow and your own pace and don't go slower, allowing time to think or explain? So, what I really mean by this is that sometimes your pace is faster than you think, but you run at this kind of slower, steady, what feels safer pace in case someone asks a question or you have to explain something, or sometimes it's like, but I need to allow enough time to think about things. No, you don't. If the action is there, if the energy is there, if the knowing is there, and the wisdom and the impulse, the woof is there to do the fucking thing now, do the fucking thing now. You don't need more time to think about it. I can guarantee you, if there's something that you really want to do, you've been fucking thinking about it for months, potentially years or decades of your life. It's very unusual for something to suddenly just drop in and be like, oh, I have this brand new desire that I'd never considered. No. I mean, sometimes things change. You're like, do you know, I never really thought of that before. Wow, that sounds amazing. That happens. But the majority of desires, the things you want, have like kind of been swimming around in your field for a very long time. So the idea that you like, I genuinely am laughing at like how fucking ridiculous the idea that we haven't thought about it enough is. I'm an overthinker. I would pretty much put money on the fact that everyone in here would identify with the idea of being like, yeah, I overthink stuff. I'm an overthinker. I can definitely overthink things. If you're not, then more power to you. But oh my God, do I think things through? Holy shit balls. So when I have those moments of pure flow where I'm just like, vroom, let's go, I trust it and I go with it. And I trust that I have thought about it enough, right? Are you with me on this? So, yeah, trust me. You can trust that you have thought about it enough. So, if the energy is there to do it now, do it now. Okay, so it's almost like we slow ourselves down because we think we need more time to think, or what if something comes up and I have to think? It's like you can think on the fly. Your intuition will know what to do, but you have to hand yourself over. You have to surrender yourself to your intuition fully. Feel the flow of where your body, your heart, your soul is guiding you, where it wants to take you, where it's drawing you, and just like let go, let go and let it guide you. And I don't mean like sit on your ass and do fuck all. I mean, when you feel the energy to do something and take action, do that. But stop trying to fucking overthink and plan everything. It is the sucker of all joy. Overthinking sucks the joy out of fucking everything. So trust you've thought about it enough, and if you feel the intuitive nudge to do the thing, whatever the thing is, right? Hopefully it's a fun thing. So, I did put here a little bit about like the nuances to this and like again not pushing, not forcing or trying. And I just wanted to add a little bit here. So what I've put is forcing or trying to outrun. This is about going fast, right? Pushing or forcing and trying to outrun your beliefs about your inability to follow through or get it done before I burn out. That's different, okay? What I'm talking about is that natural flow that like wants to pull you along when you just like float on the river and you're just doing the things, and it almost feels like, I described this the other day. I was in a conversation with someone and I described it the other day like when I'm in that flow state, it almost feels like I'm hurtling through space. And then I was like, no, that's not right. It feels like space is like hurtling through me. And I'm still grounded and anchored. I'm still solid and present and human in this 3D reality of ours. And yet it feels like space is just like ripping through me at a rate of knots. And I'm just like, at its mercy. And it feels fucking incredible. So that's the state we all are really looking for, right? That state of just trusting the knowing. And that is what I love to cultivate with my clients, particularly when they come and work with me at a higher level, because we can have the conversations like over time, in between sessions. We're constantly tweaking, integrating, shifting, feeling, nudging things in the right direction. Oh my God, I love this work. Okay, so what I put here is if you do that, as in like give up and feel like I'm going to burn out, or if you're trying to like outrun your beliefs or thinking like I have to get it done now while I believe in myself because I can only believe in myself for a certain amount of time. If you're like pushing to get something done because of any of that bullshit, then you're actually telling your body that it's going to burn out or that you don't trust yourself. So what if you act, and what I've put in the next thing is being in the vibration of what you're cultivating versus letting this moment, which, by the way, is a culmination of past energetic debris, usually, letting this moment dictate to you what you do, because that's how you recreate your past. This moment right now, and I've said this before, but this moment right now that you're experiencing is a manifestation of everything you have asked for, thought about, every block, belief, everything that you have, every fear, everything you have thought up to this point and attracted is where you are now. So you're currently living in the past, effectively, right? Yes, you're in the now, but everything you are currently living in, every reflection you've created, is a result of a thought, a belief, an action that happened in the past. It's like saying, I ate refined carbohydrate, ate like 8,000 calories a day for 3 weeks. And so now I would be sitting in the body of someone who'd eaten a lot of rubbish, way overeaten their calorie intake and not done any exercise. I would be sitting in a very different body to someone who had taken action for 3 weeks and had kind of eaten healthily, taken care of themselves, got lots of exercise, had lots of lovely fun adventures in their life. Their skin's going to look different, their body's going to look different, their weight's going to be different, their eyes are going to be shiny or dull. So everything you have done, thought, any action you've taken, any belief you've held, any belief pattern that you've perpetuated over and over again, that is what you are sitting in right now. And that's fine. Okay, that's fine. But can you allow yourself instead in this now moment to go, oh, okay, cool, yeah. If I just continually unconsciously react to now, to now, to now, if I'm constantly just unconsciously reacting to what is in front of me and what is, I'm just going to keep recreating the past. It's going to feel like hard work to create new neural pathways, to create new things. Whereas if we're constantly mindful of and intentional, and yes, it takes time, and yes, it takes dedication and fucking practice of building that muscle of being present, of being mindful. Of course it does. Again, it's that old adage, right? If it was easy, then everyone would be doing it. It's not easy at first, but once you start, it's addictive and it's fun and it's fucking glorious. So when we start to look at this, being in the vibration of what you're cultivating, And this is nuanced as well, but I'm not going to go into it now. But it's not like fake it till you make it. It's really understanding that, yes, you might feel a little bit like, oh, this can show up for people like, oh, I don't really want to do a live stream, but I know that if I did more live streams in my business, I get more engagement, more people buying my work, more people buying my artwork, more people signing up for my offerings or my courses or my membership. I'd have all these people coming in. And really, what's required of me is just to show up more regularly on my social media, show my face more, film myself talking and talking them through what I'm creating in my art business, or film them through the benefits of working with me, or just come on and do a live rant transmission like this. Okay. I know that that would help me build my business, and it would create a relationship with me and my audience and my lovely people. I know that it would be really beneficial for me to do that, but in this current moment right now, I feel too fat, or I've got a spot, or whatever, right? If I continually take action from that place, I'm always going to be hiding. I'm never really going to be showing my face. I'm always going to find a way around it. Do you know what I mean? And I used to do this with the gym. It was like, I'll go to the gym when I lose weight, or I will do this when I'm dot, dot, dot. So tell me right now in the comments, what is your current version of this? Oh, I'll show up when I've got more followers. Oh, I'll sell my work when it's a bit further on. Oh, I'll start telling people my work's for sale when my website's up, even though I've got an Instagram account and an Etsy shop or whatever. What is your current version of this? Tell me now in the comments. Own it. Shine a light on this shit for yourself right now. Do yourself that favor. This is for you, not for me, right? Say it out loud right now. What is it? What is your version of this right now? I'll do X when dot dot dot. Because if I'd have done that today, oh well, I don't really feel like a run. I feel a little bit tired. But I know that when I run I feel better. I know I do. So why would I let how I felt in that moment, aka feel a little bit tired, not like, oh, I need a rest day tired, not like my body's actually asking me to rest. I can tell the difference between when my body's like, you actually just need a rest day, just like active rest, go for a walk, do some yoga, have a nap, versus when I'm excusing myself out of doing something I know is going to be good for me. You know the difference, right? I know the difference, you know the difference. So when we actually do the thing that we know we're meant to be doing, that's going to make us feel better, everything shifts. And it's like we say to ourselves, what's this? I'll join the gym when I have time so that I can get my body in a better place for the future. Exactly. The future is like in a second away, and a second away, and a second away. What about like this now moment? What if you decided today that by joining the gym, you've invested in something and therefore you're going to start? I'll start painting properly when I've solidified my concept. No, you don't need an artist fucking statement. Start painting. Do you really think that creativity is going to show up for you once it's got a framework? How much do we love to do this to ourselves? Creativity and art and the muse don't show up because you've got a structured plan. That's the old paradigm bullshit, right? So, Eloise, I know I can be straight with you because you're in the collective. So, you are here for the Noli Fire. Let's go. And also, what does start painting properly mean? To me, that kind of sounds like I will start investing more time and energy and focus and taking myself, like, quote unquote, seriously. But of course, we always do everything playfully. But I'll start taking my art business, my art career, my ability to be financially independent through the creation and sales of my art. I'll start taking that seriously when I know exactly what I've got to paint. Ugh, it's like telling a small child. I see it like your creativity is wild. Like she wants to just burn through you and onto the page. Like she doesn't want fucking constraints. She doesn't want constraints. She wants the opposite. She wants you to go, right, everyone in my family out for the day. I'm in my studio. Don't fucking bother me. I've got a pot of coffee and a packet of biscuits. I'm going in, right? That's what she wants. She wants you to lose yourself. Your creativity, your muse what, and this goes for anyone, even if you're not an artist, if you're creating programs, or you're, you're healing, or you're coaching, whatever the fuck you're doing, you want it wants you, your creativity, your flow, your life force energy wants you to give yourself over to it. When will you find so ranty today, by the way? I'm loving this vibe. I feel very passionate today and I'm here for it. This is what happens when I run in the morning. I should do this every day. So it's really just deciding to create space for yourself to nurture that energetic frequency. So I will not hear any more of this from you, Eloise. You're going to start. I feel like a teacher with a little cane, like spectacles. Spanked bottom for you, but it's really important that we start to give ourselves over to the thing that we really want to bring through us, particularly if you're a creative, if you're, everyone's creative, but if your creative pursuits are what really like just like turn you on, activate you, bring you to life, why on earth would you want to put them into a structure? That is the death of creativity. It's chaos, it's messy, it's inner child playing with all the crayons, painting on the walls, splatter painting, like blowing paint through straws. It's covering your body in paint and rolling on the floor. It's whatever you want it to be. Let yourself be wild, right? There's no way to get art right. And I think people forget this. No, I'm not an artist, as in a painter. That's not my medium. But I have danced, I sing, I have acted. Like these, I used to do performing arts, like proper like performance art pieces, etc. When I was studying back in the day, I actually wanted to be a contemporary dancer. So I'm very aware that my most moving, beautiful pieces were choreographed and cultivated. And even now, when I just dance in my living room, I feel so alive because I just let myself go with the music, and to give ourselves the freedom to let our creative energy, our life force energy just work it, like let it move through you, like consciousness and the universe and life force energy wants to be moved through your physical being. And if that ends up as work on a canvas, then fucking amazing. But you have to give yourself over to the muse. Are you willing to do it? I'll show up online more when I have my next work. I'll start that new project when I have time. I'll do anything when I get more organized. Yeah. Well, hopefully that rant has also helped you, Martha. So moving energy. The list is probably too long. I love that, Phil. But the big one is repeat scan in September and oncology appointment end of September. I started exercise routine this morning. Amazing! Oh, fucking yes! Congratulations! You're doing the thing. You're doing the thing. This is really powerful. Someone might need me to do something, so there's no point starting to do anything. There's no one here apart from the cat. So stop. Stop. The comedy timing of that. I can hear the comedy timing in that phrase. Well, hopefully, what I'm really loving is that you guys are all calling yourself on your own bullshit. Oh, this is brilliant. Oh my God. And you know what? Imagine if my trainer hadn't cancelled the session today and I hadn't gone and run and I hadn't had the inspiration to do this live stream. Let me tell I haven't had this much fun on a live stream in fucking years. So, like, can you even imagine? This is what I was meant to be doing today. So I'm so glad that I just went, okay, and followed the flow, because otherwise I wouldn't have ended up here. I would have just been like, dum, 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 like I normally do on a Monday. Okay. So, is there anything else I feel to share with you here? Let me just reiterate this: being in the vibration of what you're cultivating versus letting this moment, which is a culmination of past energetic debris, dictate what you do. That's how you recreate the past. Creating a new path is going to feel unfamiliar. I mean, obviously. And so it should. You haven't done it before. And this is why people come and work with people like me, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, well, it'd be nice to have a support system when I'm doing a new thing. It would be nice to have the support of someone who is like regularly on a daily basis doing things that feel uncomfortable and has survived and is thriving and enjoys doing that and supports other people in doing that, right? So it's, of course, there is absolutely no shame, and it doesn't make you a failure if you hire somebody to support you with that. That's what we're here for. So like if there's someone who resonates, if it's me, if it's someone else, that you feel like I really want to work with that person because I know they have this they activate this fire in me. They make me feel like anything's possible and they're living it as well. If that person's me, great. If it's not, again, like that's fine. But yes, sometimes people just need a kick up the arse. And I know because I do, right? So we're all just human. And just because you can't do it like completely on your own right now, you could do it on your own, of course. But generally, it speeds things up when you come and work with someone like me because, I do this and go, look, there's the mirror. Oh, look where you're holding yourself back lovingly, but also with a little bit of a boot up your bum. So that is the deliciousness of coming to work with someone like me. Ding. Is there anything else I feel to share? I will share this final little bit that I wrote at the end, and then we will call it a day for now, even though I could talk to you guys all day because this has been so fun. Yeah, Phil, beautiful. I'm glad that resonates with what you're already, embodying in your life. So what I put here is also if I hadn't had my Muay Thai session cancelled and chosen to run, I may not have had this realization and metabolized this knowing, and then not come here to do this live stream. Trust the path and each lily pad and each lily pad and step that is shown. You only remember this very simple piece, but it is very important. You only need to know the next step. That's it. And that's really exciting because this is the piece about trying to slow yourself down to get the whole plan. You don't need to. You don't need the whole plan. You already, for a lot of people, by the time people come and work with me now, they usually have some idea that they need a website or they've got a website and they probably know how to set it up or they've got the money to pay someone else to do it, right? They know the practical strategy. This is not me saying that if you want to be fitter and healthier and tone up your muscles or whatever, that you don't need to go to the gym, because you probably do need to do some physical exercise, because this is in the physical. This is 3D reality here. Like, hello. Okay. So yes, you're going to have to do humany things, and you can do a lot more than you really need to be doing if you listen to a lot of traditional methods and ways of doing things, a lot of strategies, a lot of plans. If you let your intuition guide you, you will find that you can hop, but you can skip steps because you're just trusting what feels good for you. So, that said, tell me right now, what are you feeling activated to go and do right now? What action will you take today that brings you closer, that is the embodiment of the person that you truly are at your core, not the person you are with all of this debris and bullshit that's been built up over years and years and years. Who are you taking a stand for? When I say who, I mean you. What version of you, what piece, what thread that lives deep inside of you, that seed of like knowing this is who the fuck I am, right? Whoever you've remembered that you are at your core through listening to this transmission and activation, whoever that is, what are they guiding you to do right now? What is the next step for you? Tell me in the comments below. Even if it feels random, even if it feels too small, even if it feels too big, whatever it is, what is the next step? Just first thing that comes in, just drop it in the comments. What is it? And then I'm going to stop shouting at you. Just taking some vitamin D. I'm on a supplement regime, which I won't go into, but it is working. It's very well researched. Clearing all physical things from my old life. Perfect. And what I recommend as well, Lisbeth, is like get a soundtrack on. Get a soundtrack. Oh, funny that you said that. Have a dance. Get back in my body. My brain is too flappy. Yes, Martha. Brilliant. Get back into yoga. Missed it. Okay, do some yoga today. Whack it or find a YouTube fucking thing or do what you know to do. Dump prawns and charity shops been visited. Fantastic. So keep going, Lisbeth. Keep clearing shit out. Purge, purge, purge. And yeah, put a soundtrack on. Do it to music. Make it a playful experience. It doesn't have to be this big, heavy, grieving experience, right? Yes, Eloise, yes. Do it today. Do it today, and then let us know in the collective when you've done it, and we can all celebrate you. But this is it. This is the thing. This is what is going to move you forward, right? This is what is going to move you forward. Deciding this is what needs to be done now, fully fucking committing, doing it, going all in. And it doesn't have to be go, 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 go all the time. But very often, particularly after, the things that happened to the entire world not so long ago, we've got into this pattern of not really going for JJ to the wall anymore because there was a sense of like, well, what's the point? Because I can't get everything I want to out of my life right now, or things can get taken away from me, or my freedom's been compromised, or whatever. Well, in this now moment, you're as free as you can be. You're freer than you've ever been right now, okay? Just tune into that. Tune into the frequency of I'm fucking free. I'm free. My heart is free. And let that guide you to the next step and do the thing today. Yes, beautiful, Phil. Get it done. Yes, we believe in you. You've already started the day off to a smashing start with getting your exercise in. So this is going to be easy. And let it be fun. Do it all with a little pinch of playful curiosity. And if you've got a kick ass playlist, that always helps. Thank you so much for being here live. I am going to have something launching very soon. And I'm feeling very inspired to have like a real kind of like, go fucking get it done, let's do the things energy. So I'm refining the details a little bit this afternoon because I have so many ideas. I'm like, okay. Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it full? Like I have to feel that full sacral, like whoosh, get it out into the world. But I knew I had to do this live stream before I announced again, see, imperfect action, take it when it's there. Oh, I should really wait until the program's ready to do this live stream. No, fuck it. The live stream is done. The live stream needs to be transmitted. It wants to be out in the world. Get it out in the world. And when the program is giving that energy of get it out in the world, I'll get it out in the world. But keep an eye on my Instagram stories because that tends to be the place I share things first. And also keep an eye on your emails. So if you're not on my mailing list, then you can sign. If you go to my website, www.georginaknoll.com, there is an option to sign up for my mailing list and you get a free meditation. You don't have to listen to it if you don't want to, but it will get you on my mailing list. You can also sign up through my link in my bio over on Instagram, which is Georgina Knoll EFT is my name over on Instagram. So keep an eye on my stories. I tend to share things there first because I work on impulse, I work intuitively, I work with that sacral zing. So it happens when it happens. And very often, Instagram stories is the easiest, quickest way for me to just get stuff out in the world. So if you don't follow my Insta stories, I highly recommend that you go make sure that you have me all switched on over there so that you get all of the wide-eyed Noli juice. Thank you so much for being here. This has been a blast. I've had so much fun. Love you. Bye.